guys are unmuted. All right.
Sound check. 1, 2.
Me?
What happened to my screen? There we go.
It was all the mice.
Your face exploded. That's what happened.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am currently breaking things. Oh, that's not at all. Oh, I am really breaking things.
Oh, gee. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, right. All in the name of science, I tell you. All in the name of science.
I mean, at this point, you should know what all the buttons do.
I know what all the buttons do. Listen, don't you give me sass there, mister.
Look, if they stop dancing in front of him so he can hit him straight. I mean,
I'm sorry, I see like 4 buttons. I don't know what they... just...
Do you have your glasses on?
Maybe?
Ah.
Yes, of course I have my glasses on.
hey there, Kookabek.
I have my glasses on. It is just suddenly not finding the things that I find.
Dude, you're cutting in and out again.
I moved my microphone away.
This is why we have sound checks.
Listen to you.
It was working till he touched it. It's fine.
It's true. That is very true.
You're the pro. Why am I better at the prep?
Because you're better at prep.
Son of your logic.
I'm setting up a whole new PC in an hour.
This is true. Less than, really.
Actually, it only took me like 10 minutes. Come on. I'm just messing with you. It's fine. Alright, I'm going to... Whoa, no. No.
Yeah, let's not do that. No. Ah! Whoa! Production quality, folks.
I can hear her laughing from upstairs. Okay. So I'm going to try this again. Discord, I know you're there. Why are you messing with me? Don't make me switch to...
see what sort of positions it can get you into.
Don't make me switch to Skype. Knock that crap off.
I don't have Skype installed. I killed that thing with fire.
You know, I don't blame you. But...
I'm probably going to be shortly, but, you know. I'm going to leave the uninstall frenzy on the new rig till after this. Because I don't want to be updating left. I don't want to be restarting left.
In all seriousness, it suddenly won't pick up the window. Okay. I don't know why.
Delete it and re-add it.
I just did. And now it doesn't even see it. It's okay. You know what? We're just rolling with... We're rolling with this. Whatever. You know what? Screw it.
Just fight with it as we go.
Yes.
It's okay. Nobody's going to see my face anyways, so we're good.
We're rolling with it. This is what's happening. This is what we're doing. So what is going on? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the very first HMS Gamers. I can't even word. Yeah. Welcome to the very first HMS Gamers web show. I am Dellrodar. This is my channel here that you see me on currently. We were doing Beat Saber before. I am here with Drethic, and I am here with Blaydetan. They are my partners in crime here. Guys, go ahead and say hello.
Patsy. Depends on the day.
Totally pointing all the evidence at you.
Oh, that's why it's on my channel. Totally pointing the evidence at me.
See? Uh-huh. See, my plan is already working.
But go ahead and give yourselves a little bit of an introduction, guys.
Okay, please.
All right, I was about to say, I guess we'll go alphabetical. All right, everybody, I'm Blaydetan, as already been mentioned. I'm a network tech and anything computer, whatever. I usually wind up doing a lot of cooperative games and not much for the PvP stuff unless Dellrodar drags me in. And I'm looking into getting some casual streaming myself in just under a couple of weeks here once a certain beta starts up.
Can't wait for that beta.
Oh, yes. That's good enough for me for now.
Alright. I'm Drethic. I'm a system architect and programmer. I'm usually the Dellrodar needs something for his stream, so I have to go make it.
Truth.
That is a very true statement.
I'm more of the puzzle, strategy, and FPS gamer of the group. Usually I hide behind Dellrodar in most of the FPS games. Or
Mhm.
I play decoy.
Yeah.
That is also very true.
It depends on your mood set. It's like, okay, that's it. Take that. All right, go run at them and distract them for a while.
Hold my beer.
Dude, I know better. It's holding your rum.
Okay, true.
Yeah, that's not a that is not an untrue statement. That's for sure.
See, Cuckoo Pig's got it.
Yeah,
Right? Hold my rum. Hold on. The amount of laughter that is coming from upstairs is amazing. But that's a whole nother story.
well, you know what? Your noise filter's good because I can't hear a bit of it.
What did I do? Drethic, come help. Hey now. That's
I
enough
think the
of
whole
you.
my mic's is more me since I don't drink as heavy.
That is true. That's
Yep.
true. So, what we do here, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the new things that we see as far as VR technology and as far as technology in general. We're going to take a look at some of the newer games that have just come out on the market. And we're going to take a look at some new gaming services that we kind of took a look at and new technology. So I'm actually going to hand it over to
And some old fan favorite games.
old fan favorite games. Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm going to hand it over to Drethic, actually. And I'm going to let him take this away.
Really?
Yep.
Alright, fine. Hey, thanks. Get the tag of that bus. So I figure we'll start off with upcoming
18.
technology. The first one that's coming out real soon is the Google Stadia. Is that pronounced right?
Yeah, I believe it is Stadia.
Okay.
Well, unless you're like overly affluent, I suppose.
Eh.
Stadia.
Yeah, see exactly. Where I'm going.
It looks like a pretty decent system. I don't know how many people out there are familiar with the Steam Link, but it allows you to set up your Steam library on a television anywhere on your home network. But instead of having to use your local PC, this will go out and actually run it off of their server, so there's no downloads. All you're doing is streaming the game data. And you can do it on local PC, laptops, or television at some pretty decent specs. 4K at 60 FPS with 5.1 sound, with nothing but a controller input.
Man, I'm a dinosaur. I remember the days where like something like that, everybody would be up in arms, like, not everybody has internet.
Yeah.
And even if you go to their site, you're able to see there's a speed check to make sure that what speeds your internet is will match up with your game service.
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
And I mean, it's already been. I mean, I haven't seen too much about it, but they're currently in pre-orders. It's not technically out yet, but
Yeah.
the fact that it's a small disc. It goes up to 4K Ultra HD with high definition resolution here.
Well, that small disc is just a Chromecast.
Exactly, it is. It's a Chromecast with an HDMI connector at the end.
That's all what Chromecasts are.
But even still, it's a little bit more than a Chromecast, though. It's a Chromecast. It's also a Bluetooth receiver for the controller.
Oh, yeah.
That controller has Bluetooth with it. There is. It looks like, from what I could tell, there's a headphone input on the bottom as well, if need be, or possibly a mic input there. I mean, as far as the design, it looks pretty damn identical to an Xbox One controller. It's a little bit more rounded out and a little bit more wide.
Actually, that is just their plain Chromecast Ultra.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
all the features, all they're doing is just giving you a controller and the streaming.
but just remember, guys, Stadia is not available in Hawaii, nor is it available in Guam.
Hawaii? Seriously?
Yes. Per actually the fine print on the bottom, Stadia is not available in Hawaii. Stadia is not available in Guam.
I mean, what do you expect to have out underneath that? Stadia has a phobia of volcanoes. I mean, I don't get that.
Doesn't like islands.
And interestingly enough, the Stadia...
Too much water around it makes it panic. Okay, that part I understand.
So, actually, interestingly enough, Stadia also requires a mobile device running Android 6.0, Marshmallow related, or iOS 11 for the actual controller.
I love how hungry Android programmers are.
It's compatible with the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL, Pixel 3 3A, and the Pixel 3A XL. Wow, that is a lot of acronyms for the freaking Pixel. That's all. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Isn't the Pixel one of their phones?
It is. The Google Pixel is their brand of phone. Yeah, that's...
The only negative I see to the system is the library is locked behind a subscription, and it's $10 a month. Sometime next year, there's supposed to be a free version, but who knows what quality games are going to be out there for free. So you spend $130 on this controller for what?
Well, it looks like it says...
Well...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say...
Go.
Welcome
Damn it,
to our
Nappa.
normal conversation on Discord, folks.
Damn it, Nappa.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, go on. Seriously, though.
Yeah, I can kind of understand going that subscription system and everything, because really, I think it's trying to get them a monthly income to maintain the servers with. That's not necessarily relying off of their ad stuff from other revenues.
And I can understand that, but if I already have some of these games purchased, I'd like to be able to run them from my own library instead of having to stream it from somebody else's box.
Yeah, fair.
I agree with that,
the
but...
fact that, if I go on vacation, I can pack 2 little devices and play my video games wherever I go.
That's exactly why I took the suggested stance that I was like, I know they're going to go away from this, so.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that.
I'm the jerk.
Ooh, big face.
Ooh,
Since I can't get Discord to actually do what I want to do, improvise.
For now.
Yay!
Oh, we totally threw this together, so it's not like we really routed around there hard.
Well, it's the point that it was working and then it stopped working. Anyway, nonetheless, back on topic here. Not only does it require that subscription, if you want to play on 4K, if you want to play with 5.1 surround sound, if you want to play with on the TV, actually, you need a Chromecast Ultra subscription on top of the Stadia Pro subscription to get that surround sound, the HDR, and the 4K. Non-subs can experience up to 1080p and 60 FPS, which, honestly, that's not bad. I mean, unless you have a really...
It's only stereo, then?
Yeah, it is only stereo.
Wow.
Which is disappointing, but I will say this. I'm almost 100% sure there are going to be workarounds around that. Always. Always will be, always have been, always, whatever, right? But, sorry, notification there.
But I you're coming in and out again.
Yeah, I turned away.
I'm showing... Oh, I was also showing yellow on the call for connection for a second there, which just went back to green.
Oh. I broke it at Vegeta.
You did. Shame.
But yeah, it's disappointing that something like this would come out and then there's so many paywalls to come out from behind in order to get it properly running. That kind of sucks. You can't play it on the TV unless you have a Chromecast? Come on.
Well,
I understand the why. Actually, no, I don't even understand the why. You're getting a receiver already on there. There's no reason
It's most likely coming through their servers.
Maybe. See, it's not completely...
That would be the simplest angle in my mind, because,
Yeah,
Like, it's like if you're running a Nintendo or PlayStation, anything like this and everything. They want the transmission, they want the interaction with the TV to be with their proprietary equipment.
right. No, and I get that. I really do. Excuse me. And wow. Just I gotta say the amount of connection needed for 4K 35 MPS. Yikes. But yeah, the Stadia base is going to be free. It'll have up to 1080p, 60 FPS. It is stereo sound. Buy games whenever you want, yeah. So here's something that the Pro actually has over it, other than the surround sound and up to 4K. There's additional free games released regularly, and they're starting with Destiny 2.
Yeah, but you don't get to keep those. They're just on rotation.
True, but that's a good way to take a look at something new. It's a good way to kind of discover. It's almost like Humble Bundle. You know, you're going to get a bundle of games that you don't necessarily see right off the bat. Or maybe not even really even heard of. Because I know I have Humble Bundle, and I'm getting games that like I wouldn't even have given a second thought to. But once you actually pull them up, they're a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Church Boy M, thank you for the follow, bud. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm kind of excited to see what it comes out with and how it starts. There's a lot of good games already on here. Like, they have the first lineup of games. I mean, we're looking at Cyberpunk 2077, Borderlands 3, Baldur's Gate, Doom Eternal, looks like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Final Fantasy 15, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Mortal Kombat 11, Metro Exodus. I mean, there's a ton of good games in here. Look, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're older games. Division 2 is on here. Tomb Raider, Wolfenstein. Like, that's a really good lineup to start out with. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts now that I've spouted off everything?
Well, it's going to be another attempt at a game system. We're going to have to take a look at that. I should say it's another attempt at a game distribution platform. Because really, I wound up seeing this as like, to compare it to the current reigning champ, it's remote Steam. But because like none of the stuff is on yours, like you said, and everything. And as far as it not coming out with VR ahead of time, I'm willing to bet that's going to be because one, they're not necessarily going to be anticipating what kind of an extra load is going to be on their servers, and two, I imagine the video output's going to be more. I mean, the connection requirements for 4K are pretty high and everything. So if you're going to go with like some of the higher res VR games, I'm not sure how much bandwidth that's going to really suck up. And so not everybody will want to be able to do it. It might just be easier to say not at first, see what kind of loads are happening as far as their output onto the internet backbone, and then go from there.
Right, and that's an interesting point. More
of course, I'm going to think about that point. Network tech.
Well, I mean, and that becomes
stop tricking my network.
And that becomes an interesting point because how much additional bandwidth do you really need for a VR game?
Yeah, I have no idea.
And that would be the question. And
it's what we've seen with the Beat Saber mods and how much HTTP communication goes back and forth. Probably a fair bit.
Well, I mean, you could always write those to a file that could just read off that file too.
Yeah, but in a system like this, you have no way to write files.
Exactly.
You have to stream it all.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that, I guess, that makes another point of what kind of limitations they have on their cloud servers with all this content hosting. You know, what is this gonna? How much is this gonna stress their network to the point of where it becomes unusable with multiple players playing VR?
On the idea of the HTTP, sorry for butting in under Drethic, but to go on to your point there, that's going to be internal on their servers. Because, like, right now, I mean, unless I'm misunderstanding how it's operating everything, when Dell's doing his Beat Saber and it's got the mods bouncing back and forth and everything, that's from his system out to the internet. I mean, that part's going to be entirely on their end. So that's going to be an internal network issue, and the bandwidth there can just be completely crazy. So that's what I'm mainly worried about, is the video feed coming out from them to the VR rigs, and how big that's going to be. I know, I mean, you're running like USB 3.0 or something like that for the plugs for that?
Well, I mean, it just runs off of, in all honesty, the new ones run off a DisplayPort and an HDMI, actually a DisplayPort, and a USB 3.0 is for the internal sensor. It's not even so much for the feed.
Okay. All right, yeah, but that sensor data is still going to have to go out and everything like that, too. So, yeah, so...
But to that, I say the sensor data would have to stay local. There's no reason, because you would need base stations in order for it to track properly. That, I think...
Yeah, but the server still needs to know how your view has changed in order to calculate what it's going to deliver to you.
But I think that would be more controlled by possibly an upgrade in the Chromecast Ultra. Because that would have to stay local to track your tracking. What's being sent to you doesn't change. It's actually what is being read that would be changed.
So you're basically feeding back the position data every couple of milliseconds.
You're feeding it back, but you're feeding it back to wherever you're playing it from. It's not so much
which
being
is their
fed back
servers.
to the server.
No, that is their remote servers. Everything's feeding off their box. We're basically terminal into their system.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're being a thin client.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
On the other side of it, we are talking about Google's infrastructure. So if they don't have the power, we're all screwed.
They do now, they won't later.
So while we're on the topic of VR, let's actually move on to the Microsoft HoloLens 2. This was...
Yeah.
This was released in the AR VR conference in Toronto a couple months ago.
I'm putting a link in for the viewers in case they want to see.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is definitely interesting because this is built more towards businesses and productivity and development. Because this is a AR experience. This isn't put the goggles over your face, this is all you see, you can't look on the outside. No. This is a full AR experience. The actual lenses are see-through. You're getting a feed that is actually bouncing off that lens and showing up, not obviously to no one else but you, but still. I mean, this kind of gives the feeling of Google Glass, only bigger and a little bit more robust.
Yeah, this definitely seems to be an extension of Google Glass, which I think is... Didn't they discontinue that?
Oh yeah, no, that failed miserably.
But, I mean, it looks like an Oculus headset with a shrunken eye viewer.
There's definitely... Sorry, go ahead.
It's definitely a sleek look to it. I like the look.
There's definitely a lot of stints of that same headset, because believe it or not, the new Oculus headsets and the bands and everything, that's actually made by Lenovo.
I'm sorry, I mean, what?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people complained about that. A lot of people complained about the Rift S because of that. They felt that the headset was cheap and there wasn't a lot of... the materials weren't that well made, and, it didn't feel right. And then some people love it. Very hit and miss. But what this actually reminds me of, and it's something not a lot of people used and or saw, was actually Windows Mixed Reality headsets.
Yeah.
Windows Mixed Reality had that very same kind of open feel to it, which really put people off, because obviously you're looking to go into VR, you're looking to get immersion. You want immersion, that's what drags you in, that's what makes you, give yourself a feeling that you're actually there. And if you're seeing lights outside and, obviously...
I think the other advantage to AR is for those who can't actually be in VR, this gives them that point of reference and stability to move around, but they have that good old-fashioned gaming HUD view on top of what they're seeing.
Now, yeah, no, absolutely. One thing that kind of one thing that I have to question, right? If you guys have seen the HoloLens 2 Development Edition, if you look further into that, there is no commercial use rights for it. It looks like the commercial use rights device only. Alright, whatever, that's fine. But, you know, now that I'm looking at it again, this is not a bit as big of a deal as I thought. Well, I mean, still yes and still no.
I just got a comment on the first image on the entire thing. It's like, yes, we need this augmented reality experience to tighten the clamp.
No, they need the AR experience to call Skype.
To tighten the clamp, yes.
Because that's what it is.
Now, I like how, though, I mean, it's positioned the way that the person on the little, the AR screen is looking. It's like he can see the object in front of her, like it's got a relay on it or something.
And it's like, it's very possible it might.
Like, oh, don't touch that! And
Too late.
Oh, no.
It's actually very possible it does have a camera and or sensor in the front. If you look closely at it, on the very right-hand side of that is either what looks like a sensor or possibly another part of a camera. There's actually two spots there, right next to each other. I know one of them has to be a sensor.
I was gonna think because of the fact that they're supposed to interact with, what was it, with space or something like that. Microsoft Space or something you were talking about the other day.
Yes.
I was thinking those are emitters for tracking. That's what I was thinking, but they could be sensors. I don't. Maybe a camera. Who knows? But I think the camera's going to be more centralized and rather up towards the temples.
Well, the thing about the camera is, I believe the camera is really for when you're making those Skype calls, so they can see what you're seeing. Not so much. Not so much for you to be able to project out. Obviously, holograms are still a way away.
That would be amazing, but we're not there yet.
We're kind of there, but we're not like fully physical there.
What scares me is if you go to the apps page and scroll down, there's a surgeon sitting on Skype in the middle of an operating room. That's the crap out of me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Excuse me, how do we remove this heart? I'll be home soon. I just have to...
No, it's okay, honey. No, hey, you know what you're cooking? Yeah, it looks like that's inside this guy.
But on the flip side, a little bit further down.
And underneath that, it's like, I should have gotten the bigger chair. The bigger chair! Let me stretch my chair.
You were saying there, Drethic?
I did scroll down a little bit further. They do have a hard hat edition, which is actually pretty neat, so you can have industrial workers maintain their safety and still use this technology.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I think really they didn't... what they should have shown on one of these, and they kind of show it with the medical personnel, right? But I think what they should have had, instead of necessarily like a guy on a Skype call for the first image, would be a schematic of the setup. Like, like you see in the car parts, catalogs and stuff like this, or the car repair guides, or when you buy furniture, showing it with all the pieces a little bit separate and all the lines going together. Something like that. I could see Wanda being a little bit more careful and everything, or a little bit more. Why did I use that? A little bit more proper, because you go and have the expanded device next to that, and using the AR, it's like, okay, all right, so they put these together. Okay, so I have that. Or if you put those together, what's that supposed to look like? You can rotate the thing and see, do I have it set in properly? Is this lined up properly on the whole? Because then you can take the 3D image and move it around and everything inside. No, I have that cord in a completely different spot and it's going to burn.
Yay!
Yay! So that I can see. But Pure Land and Industrial, when you first talked to me about this and everything, I was thinking, okay, as a consumer, when am I ever going to use this? As a consumer, I'm not. Especially with that price tag that they got right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, a $3,500 price tag, obviously, for consumer use, that's way overkill. Let's face that.
Yeah.
That is super overkill.
Yeah, but like intricate assembly jobs, I can wind up seeing a good, mostly using it for like a assembly schematic, like I said.
I
Yeah.
don't know
see
if you
that,
guys
but
have
that-
seen the layout version. I'm waiting for the next, was it Home Channel show to come out where they go in to rebuild this house and they have AR to design it all.
Well, that might not be as far away as you think, because if you look at some of the partner solutions that are coming soon, I mean, we're looking at Siemens Company, we're looking at Pearson, we're looking at Bosch, we're looking at Upskills, CAE, Minivis, Dassault Systems, to name a few.
Yeah, that's all learning and education.
Exactly, but having that and being able to, and especially in the case of, like, you know, I know they have the hard hat edition and everything, they have a SketchUp viewer and you can see the project in its environment. There's a lot of potential for that to go forward.
Could you imagine this in a science classroom?
Well, alright, hear me out. So, if you followed any of Verizon's development, Verizon actually offers AR to firefighters and emergency personnel. Firefighters specifically, when they go into the fire, they can pull up schematics of the building and project it inside of their helmets.
That's along the line of what the stuff I was talking about.
Exactly.
Right
Yeah.
That's in practice and actually being used. Ironically, it was Verizon that actually did that.
Okay. But as far as like classrooms, I want to see that in chemistry class.
Yes.
For two reasons. One, you can wind up doing more labs, more simulated lab stuff and everything with, you know, dangerous chemicals without putting anybody in harm's way.
Absolutely.
Because it's all simulated. So, you know, somebody drops the wrong beaker, you're not all dead.
And they don't drink the Coke out of the beaker.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Oh, jeez, do not do that, people.
Yes, that's
pure
bad.
gas sucks. But in addition to that and everything, yeah, it's an upfront cost, but it could potentially wind up saving them a lot in supplies and like chemical order and stuff like that.
And licenses for a lot of those chemicals.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
But-
those cannot be cheap.
Just remember, though, while it might save them in licenses and chemicals, I mean, you still have to now think
Generally be
about,
happy.
well, now think about security of the devices. Now you're bringing in a whole different thing. Those are $3,500 per device. Even if they got, say, like I was thinking
a little
discount.
bit more down the. I was thinking a little bit more down the line when they get cheaper. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're $3,500 now, but they're gonna get less expensive. And let's face it, our school systems cannot afford that crap right now unless you go on a really hoity-toity pinky up type of academy.
I think they're just now getting laptops and
Well, I mean,
Someone,
a lot of schools are getting like MacBooks and, you know, iPads for every classroom, and like technology is definitely getting moving
I
forward.
gotta look it up again, but a couple of schools went back to paper. They were like, "No, we're done with this."
Well, all right. For example, my daughter's middle school and high school actually provide them with a MacBook, and it's a MacBook Air. It's nothing crazy. It's enough for them to do their homework, to keep up with Power School, and to be able to experience what it's like to have a laptop moving forward and working with those tools. I completely just lost my train of thought, but that's a whole nother story.
You're welcome.
I know. But
Train wreck.
no, in all honesty, I mean, I could see, and especially where you come into the point of saying, you know, in a science class, there is AR. Somebody was working on an AR periodic table that actually brought up the molecular structure of whatever element. Yeah, whatever element you put into it, or put in front of it. And you could actually move another element to it and combine the two. And it shows the chemical makeup and the molecular structure of it. And then you could pull them apart. Just like they were, you know, just like nothing.
They pull up a fancy microscope, it just gives them the finger decays.
But I mean, I think that would be not only an invaluable learning experience for those that have that privilege of doing that, but definitely something that can move education forward as well. Because now you're adding a whole nother layer to it. You're, adding this hands-on capability that they might have gotten by observing. But I mean, now they could see all the simulations going through. They could see it right in front of their face. They're, like you said, there's now a reduction in equipment because you may not need it to see it. However, I will say you definitely do want to keep that equipment. You want them to get real world experience with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want somebody that's going into a science field to know how to use a damn microscope, not just put their goggles on and be like, I can see that. That's fine. That's great, but that's not.
Well, you never know, but
use.
The microscopes might get to the point where they're just automated, and you use the AR to manipulate the microscope too.
That's true. I mean, I think that would be more of.
Yep, it would be called the Stop Drop Enemy Mark 7.
I would be thinking more along the lines of a high-powered electron microscope, adding that technology in.
Oh yeah.
And there's another image here that's potential. They've got a doctor who's got a holographic simulation of the human spine, skull, nerves, and veins.
Yep.
Imagine having a patient in a CT machine, and that's now projected in AR in front of the doctor, where they can rotate the patient around, zoom in, all right there while the patient's in the machine to really get good diagnostics on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. That, let's face it, that would be huge. That would be absolutely huge.
So, is there anything more that we want to cover on AR?
Maybe?
Yeah. We got plenty of other topics to get to. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have plenty of topics, but damn it, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And you all know that.
Oh yeah. No, you didn't mention earlier, like not only $3,500, but like the rental leases.
Yeah. So, well, it is. It's rent. I don't even think it's a lease. Well, yeah, I suppose it could be a lease. Yeah, but either way, I mean, $99 a month was one of those, and I think one of them was what, $125.
Yeah,
I think it was the developer one.
Yeah, $125 or $3,500 for the device. That one actually had an or on it.
Well, no, I'm talking about like above that on your notes there. It said the monthly rental lease as part of the package at $125.
With 365 assistant as part of the package at $125. That is, I don't think that one was developer edition. The developer edition was the $99 a month with the Azure and Unity programs.
Yeah, and the developer does not have the 365 assistant.
No, it does not. But I think that's more for
end users than developers.
Yeah, that's more for like contacting somebody on Skype and pulling up meetings and stuff like that. And actually, while we're on that, I think, and I don't think I put this on the list here, so you guys gotta kind of forgive me, but while we were talking about this, I looked a little bit further into the HoloLens, and there was another program that kind of went along with it, another program in development. I think I linked it in chat. But I believe it was called Spatial XR. And it was specifically, well, it was modified to use the HoloLens, but it's for people that have multiple HoloLenses. They can actually go into Spatial XR. Yeah. Like this meeting room. And project what they're seeing as long as you have the HoloLens on. And I think that's absolutely freaking awesome. It's supposed to be like a virtual meeting room. People can pull up AR, throw AR on the same setup.
And this is the same thing that could translate into school usage.
Oh, absolutely. not only just school usage. I mean, if you're thinking, think of the case of like Doctors Without Borders, and think of like Greenpeace, and think of those other humanitarian groups that are bringing medicine and education and stuff like that. Having a few of these, and then the hologram completely got me on that one.
Yeah, so you're looking at it, and people
I was like,
don't have to be in the same room.
Yeah,
If they put it on, you get the holograms of them.
absolutely.
All right, we've now entered Marvel Universe here.
You know what, though? Actually, we've entered the Star Wars universe. We got holograms popping up. Help me, Obi-Wan. I only hope.
These are much better.
That is true. We don't require a beeping robot. Anyway.
Stop swearing.
So let's go ahead and move on to some of the newer game titles that came out. And kind of interested to see some of these, because one of them was actually Doctor Who in the Edge of Time. It's a VR game. I'll go ahead and I'll link it in chat here. Maybe if I can actually do the thing right. Paste. Haha.
It's your chat. I better let you.
Wrong keyboard.
That
That would do it.
Wow.
I can't fix that. I cannot fix that.
I can. Ta-da. But that's impressive. I hit it so fast that it actually went twice. But Doctor and there goes the derail. Doctor Who in the Edge of Time. This one actually might be a little bit more up your alley, Drethic, only because it is a puzzle game for the most part. Obviously, there's mind-bending puzzles, just iconic monsters. I didn't see any weeping angels, but I'm sure they're there.
It's on the cover. It's on the cover.
It really is. Yes, it is.
You go down an elevator, and there they are. Which, I don't know, that might be my line.
I mean, I'm looking right at one of the pictures of a weeping angel right now, and yeah, that ooh, you like puzzles? Yeah. I don't know how you would like a weeping angel in your face, though. I don't think you would have liked that as much as you think.
Need some toothpicks. I mean,
yeah.
They're not bad until you turn around.
I will.
You won't even get all the way around.
I'll bring this image up on chat here.
Hopefully.
Maybe. I have a picture of the weeping angel. Catch this browser. It does look pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely looks interesting.
While you're messing with that, I'll be right back.
Okay. Haha! I got it! Kinda. I brought it up, but it's just not this one. No, it's pretty stupid. I don't know why it's being like this. All of a sudden, everything is just being really... being really witchy right now. I don't even know how else to describe it. Oh, look! It brings up Discord again. Ah, freaking A. I'll laugh if that actually brings it up. It's trying to... I just... Some days...
No, see, it's allied with me. And I'm like, I don't want to be shown. Neither does it. See, we formed a union.
It's enough out of you.
Nope.
Otherwise, find the same executable. I don't care if it captures my cursor or not. Why the hell does that even matter? Screw it. You know what? You're getting a window capture. That's all there is to it.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's it. You're getting a window capture. Because I am tired of messing around with that. I'm that annoyed right now. I'm that annoyed. Getting a display capture, get my primary monitor, and that's the end of it.
Nope, still haven't gotten it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're getting it.
Viewception.
Viewception. Shush. There we go.
Yay!
So, we got the picture of the Weeping Angel, and you're not going to like me for a second. Yeah, whatever. Okay, moving on. Picture of the Weeping Angel here.
Yeah.
That is what would show up either in front of you, behind you, well, in this case, in front of you. Either way, that is that's got to be terrifying to see right off the bat.
No, I got an observation to make on that picture. The shadow does not match.
Exactly. I was just about to say that too.
But if you watch the show, that's what happens with the shadows.
Exactly.
Which is really mind screwy. It's like, wait, did I really see that?
Yep. Still, that's got to be that's got to be terrifying at first. You know, you guys are gonna live with the display capture for right now.
Oh god!
I'm shrinking it down.
Look at all the bouncing green lines.
I know, right?
Whee!
If it's the only way it's gonna let me, poof. Now you guys get that.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh goodness! Oh my god! What are we gonna do? Oh gee!
Oh boy!
So what's the movement like in the Doctor Who game? Is it the find a circle like?
No. So it's actually not that. It's. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. If you played like a Township Tale, or if you've seen me play a Township Tale,
I've seen a little bit of you doing that.
Yeah, it's just forward movement. You can move however you choose to. I'm sure, like most games, it probably does have an option for you to do the teleport to a spot, because most games are coming out with that as an actual optional option, rather than the fluid movement moving forward.
See, I prefer the fluid movement, because we could do that in Payday. And,
So,
except for ladders. Oh my word, those are a pain.
yeah, ladders and Payday VR are absolutely horrible. I tried that. That's how I died most of the time, because I couldn't get up the ladder.
I know, I kept looking down and laughing at you.
Well, you know what? I didn't see you playing it VR there, mister.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
I did.
The funny part is it looks more like an arcade game in VR, because the models are just like, like, it wasn't as fluid as it should have been. We'll put it that way.
Just think, I might experience that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might not want to.
No, if we had to deal with the torture, so does he.
You know what? I could roll with that.
See, and that immediately I'm outvoted. It's going to happen. So,
Aha!
I'm going to pick my vetoes, and that's not one of them.
You have 3 per year, sir. Good luck.
But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty interesting game. I have watched a little bit of it being played, and I think it was interesting enough. I don't know if it'll hold my attention, but I'm also the very big, like, action guy. I like to shoot things, I like to run around, I like to, you know, I don't mind a good puzzle every once in a while, but a game full of puzzles is just not my thing. You know, everybody has their own. Yeah, that's more of yours. That's more of, like, Cuckoo Pig likes puzzles constantly. I'm just not a big puzzle person. I can do them, get past them, do them if I have to, but I don't want to.
It reminds me and Drethic playing Sniper Scope. Like, oh, indoor section here. Indoor section.
We had such a crowd for that.
We did. That was great.
The only thing that would actually draw me to that game is the actual Doctor Who theme.
Fair.
Yeah.
I am very much a Whovian. I love Doctor Who. I've watched every episode, even the new ones. And just... I love that whole universe. You know? It's a hell of a theme. But I still don't know if it would be enough to hold my attention. That's the only bad part.
Have either of you seen a game called The Room?
Yes. It's a puzzle room, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Or escape room.
Really, well, it's a bit of both. I'm really hoping that they make a VR version of it.
Didn't the game have VR support?
I would like to see. No. Because it was basically a mobile port.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
But that's why I think it would make a good VR game, is there wasn't a lot of action movie running around. So you could get decent controls in a VR environment without it being clunky like some games.
Okay. Now...
Sorry about the derail.
No. I mean, that's on the same effect, so... I think, I
derailed first, whatever.
But
I mean, old arcade times.
For you, would probably be Stormland.
Yeah. Stormland looks very interesting, and they actually just had a patch not too long ago, too. I think it was yesterday they had a patch.
Segue fancy.
I know, right?
It's like we know what we're doing.
Only we skipped one. That's okay.
No, I did that on purpose.
I know.
I'm sticking with the VR theme.
Yeah, no, Stormland actually really does look good. That is more of my game that, jumpy, shooty, kind of looks a little bit like, I want to say like Apex Legends meets.
A little bit.
At least with the theme, because that looks, to me, that looks like, damn it, I can't think of his name. Oh. The freaking robot. Pathfinder.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like Pathfinder. But, I mean, this goes along with having the visuals to go along with it. Because while Doctor Who looks okay, the visuals on this one look a hell of a lot better.
Oh, they look amazing. It took me a little bit to see that there were VR nuances to it. Like when you're climbing up a wall, trying to get your hand to the right spot to grab and pull. But otherwise, it seemed really fluid.
Yeah. This is one I would be very excited about. And actually, I'll pull it up on the screen here if we haven't already put a...
One of the big features that I want to test out is it does co-op. 2-player co-op.
Oh, crikey, I did not mean to pull up Oculus, but yeah, we can pull up Oculus. Hey. I am not very... Yeah. Anyway, Stormland. I wouldn't mind actually watching the trailer for this.
Yeah, go for it.
Because... I'll actually put that in full screen here.
The audio source isn't coming through.
Why am I not surprised? Why? Because it is.
Why could they not have nice things?
It's coming through. I had to stop Pretzel Rocks.
Tuesday.
Immediately shot in the face. Right?
Saves the day every time.
Who else wants to make giant red right here?
Still alive.
That's true.
Only mostly this is happening.
He's still missing an eye, but just like Claptrap, we'll have to find it and put it back in. Oh wait, see, there you go. can just put on a different arm like that.
This is the only place I can really see where it felt very VR-ish. And all the other things look smooth.
Well, that felt very VR-ish to be able to throw that out there. Right.
And to break that immersion to go up a wall and get your back. Now we come up.
Oh, it's like flavor too. Yay.
Actually, I'm kind of curious if people do multiplayer because seeing multiple.
You're paying attention.
I am looking at this. What can I say?
Yeah,
Kind of funny.
Two-player co-op.
Kind of funny they show the CV1 there rather than the Rift S.
One of the other things I saw is they're going to be adding weekly challenges, so the world will constantly be evolving.
That's going to be interesting.
Okay.
And I mean, it looks like the ratings on this are, and actually, now I need to pull this up because I'm curious to see what the ratings are on it, as far as what Stormland.
Yep.
Okay, or not. How about we'll just
How about
Storm?
you spell it right?
Just shoot. It's true though. 435 ratings, and look at that. That is almost a 5-star rating. That is going to be pretty damn good. It supports sitting, standing, and room scale. It is single user co-op. It supports both front-facing and 360 tracking. And it's made by Insomniac Games. That's going to be interesting. Look at the required processors, though. Intel Core i7-8700 and an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, equivalent or greater. And then the graphics card GTX 1080 or an AMD Radeon RX Vega 64 equivalent or greater. I mean, that's a pretty hefty.
On the NVIDIA side, that's about par for
most VR,
VR.
yeah. Yeah, especially
but
something
on
with
the AMD
co-op.
side, that's pretty high.
Well, and actually, while we bring up AMD actually released a little bit of a new ray tracing with some of their new cards to compete with NVIDIA. So that actually is a good reason that might be a little bit higher than what it normally would be.
Yeah.
Because Stormland might be taking advantage of some of their ray tracing technology.
But then why would it require NVIDIA RTX?
Because you could still do the ray tracing on the GTX. Even though it's built with the RTX, they made it backwards compatible for the higher end GTXs.
Gotcha.
Seems kind of silly, but I think...
given the cost of these cards, I hope something's a little backwards compatible.
Right? I mean, the GTX 1080s are still $500-$600 easily.
That's what I'm running, and it's a beast.
I mean, I'm only running a 970. Right? I need a video card upgrade, but I mean, I'm looking at something like a 2080 Super, which is one of the higher end cards on the market. It's almost $1,000.
Yeah.
And then you go down to like a 2070 and it's only like 400, 500. I mean, that's a huge jump in between the two.
For a 10 series gap, because it's what, 2050, 2060, 27, 2080 or the range?
No, it's 2060, 70, and 80, yeah. Or
they don't have the 2050?
No, I think they have the 1660 to actually fill that gap.
Oh, okay.
The 1660 is actually like the entry-level budget NVIDIA card, and it's only like $229, I think. So it's very
that sounds right.
budget friendly.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah. And look at this. 5 stars. 79% with 5-star ratings. Shallow but
Curious to see
intense.
what-
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was curious to see what some of the 1-stars are.
So, I know, look at this 5-star saying, because Oculus had server issues, you had to wait 2 hours to play it. That actually might be some of it. So let's filter it by 1 stars. Let's actually take a look at it. I wouldn't even give most relevant mode. I was charged 2x and end up paying $80 for this game. Like, that makes...
has nothing to do with the game.
Game not launching, please fix.
Okay. That at least has to do with the game.
With absolutely terrible spelling. I can't start VR mode. Help me, please. Only one window appears. 5-star game. Game breaking promise. So this one's actually written out.
Hey.
Except for one. We still wear weapons at our hips. Great.
Yeah, but that's a pretty common VR way of hiding the guns.
Yeah. Really? Like, this dude's getting mad because he's putting his arms near his hips where his weapons should be, and he gets a vibration from it. That's saying, hey...
You're there.
Yeah, I mean...
It's so that you know it's there, and you don't have to look.
Does not work
an option to disable it.
It's an attempt at a haptic feedback, so...
Yeah, see, most of these are kind of borderline shouldn't be here ones.
Look, double price on my Visa.
Okay, that's not the game.
Does not work with Revive, which, if you've never heard of Revive, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off topic here. So if you've ever heard of Revive, that's the way of playing Oculus games on the HTC Vive. And actually, I'll bring up Revive. Revive skin kit. Like, there's so many things. Yeah, play Oculus exclusive games on the HTC Vive or Valve Index. Like, it's a third-party extension. It has absolutely nothing to do with the game. Title says it all. Facebook's fault for being so greedy. Like,
what?
Installer doesn't work. I buy garbage and it doesn't work. Like,
then why'd you buy garbage?
Error, please release the game. So apparently there was a 2-hour issue where people couldn't download the game for that 2 hours, and that's where these 1 stars all came from. Does not install.
Crying.
Yeah, and which is sad because here's the thing: this is a really good game.
And they had 2-hour server issues, which, hey, it's not a Bethesda game. At least they got it out to them that same day.
Right? Very good, but no localization, only in English text and voice. Okay, so that person's complaining about localization.
That's
needs multiple save. Okay, so needs multiple save slots. That I can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Locomotion and motion sickness.
What's the rating for locomotion on this one?
Moderate. So it's higher than peaceful, but it's not as bad as intense. It's that dead center. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's experience or proportionate, but certainly not for everyone. And then you have the intense, which if you've played Eve Valkyrie is rated as intense.
Yeah, that's
and it is. It absolutely is. It's a shame that the servers are really kind of dying out, but...
Well, it's because they haven't done an update in 2 years.
Exactly. Well, let me tell you, as far as a space shooter and as far as entry level in a VR, that was a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So no multi-save, obviously. Game-breaking bugs. Let's see where.
Yeah. Game-breaking bugs on day 0. Okay.
Okay, since the quest progress sits at 1. Okay, so the quest didn't update. They pretty much both got a quest item. Squeezed it like they were supposed to. And now they can't see the actual item if they go so low. See, what a mess, unable to install. That has nothing to do with the game. So it looks like a majority of these reviews are just either, some are okay, all the 1-star ones are absolute crap. But the 2-star have some merit. Now let's take a look at the 3-star, because there's not that many. There's like 3%, 3%, 4%.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the localization, especially if they don't explicitly say English only.
Look at that. Game does not work. I pre-ordered it. That was crap. But graphics are good. Frame drops, okay. Haptic feedback. That's when they're at the hips again.
My guess is there's going to be an option drop to remove the haptic feedback.
Yeah. Poor visual.
Poor visuals?
This guy's complaining about texture design. Tracking issues. The tracking issues. So one thing I will say, tracking issues most likely are not on the game's issue, but just an issue with either power saving on your tracking towers, or sometimes it can be USB drivers. Usually it's at the PC level those tracking issues happen. Has nothing to do with the actual game though. That is because I have them, and I usually have to just reposition my sensors because I screw something up. I hit this desk, I move it all the time, and it screws up my track. Right? So everybody gets these little tracking issues. Putting a review about the tracking issue is just, it's pointless to me. And then you got 10% 4-star. One, but the textures make my head hurt, right up my alley. Non-functional. Okay, somebody amended their 1-star return for a 4-star. That's fine.
See, that's valid. You're going to come back.
Yeah.
How do you put wow, wow, wow and only give it 4 stars?
1 star because it lost, but it's not in my language. So that goes with the localization issues we saw on one of those 2-star.
See, okay, I can at least they explain it.
See, and then another person complaining about the haptic feedback, unintentionally grabbing their gun when their hands are at their waist. Even though the objective function is totally whack, I am stuck and have no idea what to do. This game is great. Oh, all right.
There's no breadcrumb trail to my next objective. I don't know what to do.
You know, I could see myself playing this, and I might actually contact the developers and request a key for that because that looks pretty awesome. Maybe I'll do that after the show. But you know, while we're still on the point of pointing and shooting, let's talk a little bit about Pistol Whip. If you haven't seen Pistol Whip,
I got the link. You go ahead.
All right. Well, if you haven't seen Pistol Whip is a VR rhythm shooter. I mean, I can't put it any other way than that. Let's see if maybe I can pull it up in the Oculus. Pistol Whip. There we go. So a lot of people are calling it like a John Wick simulator.
Okay.
I can't. There we go.
And it's valid.
It is valid. Let's actually take a look at some of them.
Like the
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Well, I mean, it very much reminds me of Super Hot meets. Super Hot meets. I don't want to say. Yeah, I know, but it's definitely not. Audio Shield. Super Hot meets Audio Shield. there's a lot of ducking, a lot of moving around. The bullets that are missing, and the fact that the camera literally walk up and smack somebody in the pistol. But it's supposed to be on beat. Now I know a few people that have played this, and they say it's a hell of a workout. I will say that. They usually are complaining that their legs freaking hurt from playing this, and it is a hell of a workout, which I kind of believe, especially with the ducking and the moving. There's a lot of core motion there, and a lot of core. Oh, why did I do that? Whoops. There's a lot of core motion. There's a lot of core stretching, and a lot of core action in that. And I could see why your legs in your midsection would definitely hurt with that. I particularly like the thought of being able to go in and kind of go John Wick style. While I might not agree with the way the graphics are set up, that's still a different experience than, say, something like Beat Saber.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the graphics are the only holdup for me, really.
Well, I think of it this way. Not every game can have pretty graphics. I would prioritize gameplay.
I disagree with that.
You know what? I would prioritize gameplay over graphics any day. I really would. Because
if I can go on the Unity store or the Unreal store and download free assets that are commercial available, licensed, I mean, I don't see a valid reason.
Don't mind me, I'm
for it to
knocking
be
stuff over.
pixelized like that.
well, and here's the thing, but that is the art style of the game. That's not necessarily... They might have started with those same graphics that they got off the Unity store, but then they turned them into that, you know?
Yeah.
Every game has their specific art style, and that actually reminds me, now that I'm starting to look at it, it kind of reminds me of Hotline Miami type, the colors and the old school feel and stuff like that. Kind of old school meets new school.
I guess I'm getting cranky in my old age. I played games when they looked like that, and I play games that are made now. I'd rather play games that look like now.
I get the whole wanting to look like now, though. But you know what? There's also been plenty of games that look like now, but play like they should have been Oregon Trail. And
See, I was waiting for him to say. I understand, but tough. No,
no, because I mean there are plenty of games that look good but have absolutely ass backwards gameplay, and are pretty much on the borderline of being unplayable.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I would prioritize gameplay over graphics, and if you can get graphics in after, great. But get the gameplay in first.
And I agree with that. As a developer, I am horrendous with UI UX and anything that the user sees. So I'm all for putting crap together. And even if you put it out as like an early access game, hey, our graphics look like crap, our art's in work, don't worry about it.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. And I could see that. I really could. But I don't know. I like this. I like it's a fast-paced FPS. And I mean, there's a lot of energy to it. There's a lot of rhythm. That I think is what draws me to it better. And look at the recommended. I will say, you know, I know they dumbed down the graphics, but because of that also made that a lot more entry friendly. Because look at the processors for this: an i5 4590 and a GTX 970. If you're gonna get people playing games and getting moving, and you've got to lower that entry bar a bit too.
True.
Because let's face it, we're gamers. We sit on the couch constantly, or a chair, or a desk, and we usually don't want to get off that. We've got to find something to kind of do that.
And not to derail, but on that same line of getting up, getting moving, Switch came out with Ring Fit. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that.
I have not. I actually don't own a Switch, even though I want to.
My youngest came in because she saw it on the store page, and she wants it.
See, and that's cool, because those are the things that we really need.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, we're kind of getting complacent and just kind of sitting in one room and chilling out for hours and hours at a time and not really seeing what else is out there.
Yeah. And this is one where it works at any fitness level. Like, even me having the cane, I can still play this and not have impact my disability.
Well, think about when the Wii first came out. How many people were in their living rooms doing bowling and Wii Sports and doing like the Just Dance, and I mean, hell, my kids play Just Dance. They love that freaking game. They've always loved that game. They've gotten like 4 or 5 of them in the past like 10 years.
Like the Mario Karts, I don't care what happens, but for some reason that's a more active game than any other game I've seen played.
Yes, it is. There's screaming, there's jumping around, there's
physical assault.
You know,
you go to your neighbor's laying on the couch trying to turn.
Yep, you're trying to turn, all of a sudden you're on the opposite end of the couch. You don't know what happened. The couch is on the other side of the room. All of a sudden people are being tossed around, you know. It's like somebody threw a turtle shell and let it bounce across the room.
Yeah, let's not even mention, you know, Signs' Sunday festivities.
Yes.
Oops, I did.
But
For those that don't know, it's just because I think this is just worthy. I recently had a roommate move out. He got married, moved in with his wife, and whatnot. Every Sunday night, he plays Mario Kart online with a bunch of guys, including 2 people that play, like I guess, in there's professional leagues for Mario Kart. Who'd have known? But even if I shut my door and put stuff in between, on the other end of the entire apartment, you would hear him on Discord if I had the mic open. And so occasionally I just leave it open for the guys while we're sitting there gaming Sunday night so they could get their part of the entertainment of him screaming his head off at people throwing shells at him and like swearing like a sailor. It's, oh my word, the amount of rage people get from this game. How is he still friends with these people?
Carefully. Very carefully.
There's got to be some sort of therapy bill involved.
I know it was bad, but a bunch of us at my work all brought our Switches in so we could do local multiplayer. And my boss walks in. I have got a report that he asked me to review to my right. I've got 3 laptops lined up in front of me at different stages of infrastructure deployment and programming. I'm walking him through points on this document, running commands with one hand, and I'm still beating everybody in Mario Kart. Like, people have gotten up from their desk and come over to look to see if I'm cheating.
Yeah, so you're using AI scripts on your 3 laptops, all controlled with a controller. Freaking people.
It's funny. Cuckoo Pick says in the chat that she actually preferred the Wii over regular physical activity, and I could understand that because you're having fun with it.
Yeah,
going for walks are fun, and that's it. I mean, it really does. Not only does it engage the mind, but I mean, it takes your mind off of what you're actually doing, which sweating, you're hurting your muscles, you're doing the things that you should be doing.
And on that same vein, you got games like Pokemon Let's Go and like the Eevee and Pikachu versions. My kids have done more working out just trying to level up their Pokemon in the little Pokeball than they do during a regular daily PE, because they're running around playing, actually talking to the Pokemon, showing it things, running around the house, running around outside, and leveling up for the game that they're playing and having fun.
I'm just worried they're gonna like run by you one day and someone's gonna go, wait, hold up, hi Drethic, and then you're just, it's gonna be it. Done. It's become autonomous. It's become autonomous. It's taking over. keep your cane handy.
That's right. Keep your cane handy.
What are you doing, Drethic?
But yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a way to do it. It's the way to keep yourself active. It's a way to really go forward on that. And I mean, Pistol Whip, if we're gonna look at ratings on that, that's already supporting a comfortable rating, but that again, it's another 4.5-star game.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are finding it frustrating because of the dodging, but man, I mean, I could understand that, but hell, this is an awesome looking game.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I would love to get a hold of this again. Things that I haven't done yet. But Beat Saber, Pistol Whip, Synth Riders, all ways to get us up and out of our chairs, and a hell of a way to kind of move around and get going.
I'd only be able to play the game about 5 to 10 minutes at a time.
And I'm wondering if like Pokemon Sword and Shield are going to give us that same mobility that like the Let's Go games do and some of the other Switch versions have out there that can compete with the VR games.
I don't think it will, but while we're on that, let's take a look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, because it just got released and it had a lot of controversy to go along with it. The National Pokedex is gone. They've limited it to the game's region with no plans to expand it for right now.
But I'd also like to point out that did happen when they went through the initial rotation of games.
Well,
when the original ones went out, it was just the first region. When Ruby and Sapphire came out, it was just that region for the Pokedex. It wasn't until like the 4th or 5th generation of Pokemon games that they did the massive worldwide Pokedex.
So here's the thing. You can't keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding new Pokemon without there being some type of, holy crap, this list is way too big. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, because it's over 800 right now.
Yeah. I mean, great. That's awesome that there's that many Pokemon, but there's a lot of overlap that comes along with that as well. I mean, we're looking at electric. Think of Pokemon. Oh, what the hell one was that? I think it was Sapphire and Ruby? No, because it was before that. When they started making the baby versions of the Pokemon, it's like they kind of ran out of ideas, and they're like, oh, wait, let's give them another stage before that. That'll fill that Pokedex up.
Can you imagine if they don't kill out if they don't thin out the Pokedex or anything like this, and then they go like 2 or 3 more down the line, and then they take that entire category and make another Snap?
Oh my goodness.
The whiplash.
I mean, think of it this way. Pokemon Go, and I know that's not on the same kind of level as this, but we're talking about Pokemon. Look at Pokemon Go, and it actually has the full national Pokedex on it. Actually, I'm pulling it up on my phone right now.
Well, it's got the same Pokedex as Let's Go.
Yeah.
Because you can trade them between. That was kind of the intent behind it.
Right. And the point is, with it being so large, because every game they add at least, 1 to 200 Pokemon?
Yeah, something like that.
Plus some? I mean, if they're continuing to make this franchise 10 years down the road, we're going to be looking at like 2,000 plus Pokemon, 3,000 plus. I mean, it's going to be astronomical. Because they've come out on this yearly release schedule where there's always another Pokemon game to look forward to with the year. Always, whether it be a mobile version, whether it be another version for the Switch, whether, it's this new whatever gen console comes out next. I mean, it comes to the point, it's like, holy crap, when do we stop? And I'm not saying
what they're doing now, though, like if you look at Let's Go, it's a rehashing of the original green, red, and yellow.
blue, red, and yellow. Blue, red, and yellow.
Yeah, I was always bitter there's never a green version because I wanted Bulbasaur, but
There was
we
Emerald.
won't go there.
You got Emerald eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But like, Let's Go is
Well,
based on
there was a green, but it didn't get ported over here.
Ah, that's true. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Sad that I know that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, you know, while we're on that same point of you knowing that.
Well, that I'm sad. Yes, we know.
No, well, anyway. The thing about this Pokemon, both Sword and Shield, is it was supposed to be the game that that was really kind of built for the veterans of the franchise. And with the National Pokedex being gone, that kind of let a lot of people down. Not to mention, I mean, the other controversy that goes along with it as well. Claims about, the 3D artists actually reusing things from the old games that they said they weren't going to.
But they've actually debunked that.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, there's so much controversy about this crap that it's unreal. And
Yeah,
it just...
The game releases, yesterday, but this controversy has been going on for months based solely on pictures taking of in-game stuff. It's like, how can you prove that these are reused and not cleaned up models?
Right. That's it. Holy crap. Like, there's so many things going on with this game, and it hadn't even been released yet. There's all this controversy, and there's trending Twitter topics, and like, the game's not even out there to be played, and we're tossing it under a bus. Not that a good flogging when it's necessary is a good flogging. Let's put it that way, but...
I mean, if it needs to be flogged, yeah. And starting today would be the day to start flogging. It's like, some people have probably already beaten the game, considering it's a day old.
Yeah, well...
Some people are insane.
Yes, we'll go with that. Some people are absolutely crazy. But there's just so much controversy about this game. It's just unreal. It really is.
But come Christmas time, I'll tell you how it is.
Come Christmas time, oh jeez.
What? I'm going to get it for my kids. I'm going to sit back and watch, and they're going to tell me all about it.
In other words, you're going to take the Switch and play it yourself?
Okay, I'd like to point out that the Switch is mine, and I haven't played it in 6 months. I'm going to touch it, and there's this look from the kids of, don't you dare.
Oh, yep. Speaking of small Padawans, how about Jedi Fallen Order? Somebody's favorite EA game.
It's an EA game exclusive on the Epic Games Store. I mean, what
Yeah.
happened to Origin? I mean, that should be the first question.
Actually, in response to that, Origin is branching out and hosting their games on other platforms as well. They're actually letting stuff be bought on Steam again. They're starting to.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's kind of acting like how like Ubisoft's launcher and everything. It's like, okay, we're gonna launch it here, and then it opens up Ubisoft's launcher and launches it from there instead. Yeah, that.
Speaking of that, let's watch a small trailer for it.
I
Maybe.
like trailers.
So stop making me fight my hate.
It'd be nice if I could make it full screen, but whatever.
We've lost. The Empire's hunting Jedi survivors. Now, they know who you are.
No, I think that would go the opposite way.
I can't change the past,
You trespass, Jedi.
but I'm done hiding. Cal Kestis.
It's not getting the audio.
We will always struggle. It's the choice to keep fighting that makes us who we are.
I don't know.
Overall, the game looks pretty interesting. Is it? Oh, what were the gap ones between the original trilogy and the prequels?
The gap ones. So we're talking like Solo. We're talking Rogue One. We're talking
No, the video games.
Oh,
There's 2 video games where Vader took on an apprentice.
Force Unleashed.
yeah.
Yes.
Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, and then
That's what this reminds me of.
actually there's another one. There's Vader Immortal. That is a VR title though.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're toting obviously an Imperial Stormtrooper in Fortnite if you buy it from the Epic Store. Cuckoo Pig said she heard that laugh.
Oh yeah, well, I could have lost it. It was hilarious.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it looks interesting, but there's some interesting mechanics to go along with it as well. One of them being a kind of Dark Souls-ish mechanic, where if you die, you leave your experience and stuff like right where you died. Like that seems to be the very common one that's used as far as some of these games. But
I mean, is it as punishing as Dark Souls?
as far as I know, there's limited heals. There is, if you die, you start from the beginning of the level. Got that Dark Souls, drop your XP and stuff right where you die, and then you have to go back to it to pick it up. I don't know if it's as punishing. Some of the gameplay I've seen from it is just it looks really good. It looks really clean, but there's a lot of dodging and parrying and, kind of like honestly what a sword fighter should be in most cases, especially for Star Wars. Amethyst Song says she lost it at the thought of Drethic actually getting a switchback from the younglings.
Fair.
But yeah, I mean, it really does look good, and it looks like a very interesting title. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of frustration to go with it. I also heard it's not terribly long either, as far as like gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's maybe about 30 hours of gameplay in it total. And as far as I know, it's only a single player.
Might be one to wait on until there's a sale on it to really check it out.
I'm not surprised that it's single player, because that the whole premise and everything like that looks more like of a story, because you're supposed to be this lone individual. So let's have a second guy with you. Wait, what?
Right.
The only way they could wind up being is if the person wasn't a Jedi. But then everybody's going to be fighting to play player one, because everybody wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah. No, and I totally get that.
I'll stop the kid fight ahead of time. I'll stop the kid.
Yeah. Reference Star Wars Galaxies.
Yep.
More like RIP Star Wars Galaxies. I missed that game.
Fair.
Yeah.
That was some of the days.
Yes, it was. I would leave my dancer tip macro going and go to work.
Yep.
My musician macro going on the other screen, and then my mineral extraction there.
I was spokes pilot for a player shipwright company.
I
just go out with completely player crafted stuff and just rule.
I was a master architect in about 80% of Tatooine were my guild halls and such. Like, I miss that game. That game was so much fun.
Did you walk up to one of them and say, "I made that, I can take it away"?
It's more like I got free refuge wherever I went. It was nice. Fair. It was nice, but yeah, it was a disappointment to see that go. That new game experience kind of like killed it for almost everybody, and then it was just
totally. Combat upgrade I adapted to NGE done.
Yeah, a lot of things NGE went just out the window. Anyway, Neither here nor there. Sad about this. We're all very, very sad.
Salty.
Yes, I can agree with that. Very salty.
I just got Warframe reinstalled for later on the new system.
Well, speaking of Warframe,
so that's pretty graphics now.
well, let's talk about some of the updates that happened in Warframe.
Okay.
We'll talk about the Kuva-liches, the past.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Kupalich names.
Mm-hmm.
Just a cock. It's fine. Just a cock.
Yeah, calling him.
Hold on, I'll even spell it out in chat too. There we go. Best Kuva-lich name ever. So let's talk about the Kuva-liches.
My current one wants phone calls.
But let's talk about the Kuva-liches, because we've all played Warframe. We played Warframe together, and we've all been hit by these Kuva-liches coming forward and taking all of our shit.
My relic.
Oh, see, there's the definition. I've been wondering what filter we're going to be talking about under the entire time. Good, I can swear now.
I was not going to lie. I am. Listen, it's an 18+ stream. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, we are an 18+. Okay, fuck it.
I was salty about the things that it took for me. Look I am going to bring up, actually, all the stuff that it took for me.
He has pictures.
I do. Look at this. I killed that Juxacock. And look at all this. Look at all this stuff. This is all what I got back.
Yep, relics and mods and yada yada yada.
Oh my god, like the list actually went on and on and on. I mean, she took 591 void traces. That is just what I recovered.
Instantly capped. I mean,
look, Oberon, Harrow, Oberon, credit caches. She took my credit caches, man. My Lith relics. Look at all the relics. Look at them. Just ridiculous.
I'm glad they took the Requiem relics out of that pool.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that was... Although, I had a good laugh. I'm sorry, Drethic, but I had a good laugh.
It was pretty funny.
Oh.
Yeah. You can stay quiet all you want. That's fine. Whatever. It's an 18+ stream. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, these liches, they're an awesome challenge, but once you beat one, you just want to be like, screw it. I want to kill every single one that I see moving forward until they never get to level 5. The only good thing I will say about them is when they do hit level 5 and they take those multiple planets, let me tell you, the experience you get from those missions, freaking phenomenal.
Well, they're 90 to 110 missions. I would hope so.
The lich I've got right now, that's his name. It's like he seriously just wants phone calls.
Calling him.
Yeah,
He's calling him. Yeah, I mean,
and right now he's fuming. I've been pissing him off.
the liches have been a nice change. It's definitely a nice break, but the only problem I have with it is it's another grind. And I think
it is, and they're actually working on that right now. I've been trying to keep up on this. They've been taking the feedback and trying to find ways to reduce the RNG of it a little bit here and there without completely removing it. Because I can understand a little bit of a grind, but they've been adding some things like if you completely wear out 4 of the words that you use to kill them, you can take those 4 burned out ones and make a new random one. So
that would be nice.
That's I think they have that in right now.
Okay, so that sounds like a transmutation then, which is good.
Yeah.
So
they've been trying to find ways here and there to help reduce the grind, but at least keep some of it in. Because think of it, it's like, okay, we've put out this entire new system. If there's definitive ways to grab every single piece of it and just burn through, then all this content that you've worked on for so long is completely done, and people are like, well, what now?
Well, and that's it. I mean, they're always what now? What now? What now? What now? Everything
Mine.
we did.
Mine.
Mine. I mean, here's the thing about the Kuva Liches. Not only is there a lot of RNG, but they've actually understood the abilities that they could have, which is interesting because can you imagine making them making a specific lich? And I mean, there already, if I'm not mistaken, there is a lich already. Like a lich, yeah, you could tell what element they're going to have by the warframe you bring in.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because
I just need to find that list that says how not to get teleporting as the fourth ability of my lich, because that was a pain in the ass.
Oh, well, see, actually, it's
actually right up here.
Yeah, actually, the fourth ability is a random. There's no way to guarantee that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's either Lurch, Stampede, Teleport, or Vault. What kind of sucks for me is just I really want a lich that's gonna, because I can go up to 60% as far as the elemental chance. But look at some of these weapons. I mean, Kuva Dragoon, Kuva Karak, Kuva Colm, Kuva Ogress, Kuva Tonkor, Kuva Brack. I mean, look at these things. These things are awesome.
Dude, all the Kuva Ogress says is, how much better can you blow yourself up?
And then
from the GIF I saw the other day, it looks like a Orbit.
Yeah.
And then there's actually 3 unique weapons: the Kuva Chakor, the Kuva Shieldrig, and the Kuva Ayanga. I don't even know if I said that right.
No, you said it right, and that's the one that my current lich has that I'm trying to get from him.
So the Ayanga is the arch gun, and then you have a main hand and a melee weapon. As far
I've got
as
the melee weapon. The main hand is basically like an elephant gun. And I'm looking forward to getting that. I want that.
I'm kind of curious because I used Banshee. Oh yeah, and she was electricity. All right, so yeah. It's gonna suck because I have a feeling the next time I make one, it's gonna be with a Saren. And we're gonna be doing a lot.
That's not bad because that's just gonna be toxic for a base, and that's not a terrible thing.
Yeah, but can you imagine Mind Toxin, Overload, Cursed Ground, and my asthma?
Dude, seriously, I have ways to deal with this because my last one was I took care of business. That bugger went down.
Either way, it would be great to see. It used to be known as the Kingpin system, which, if I remember right, that was way back when. Yeah. I like the fact that they added a valence transfer now. So if you get a Kuva Lich, the same Kuva Lich weapon, but you see that it's better than what you have, and you've already put like Forma into it, you've already put a Catalyst into it, you can take that better stat and move it to your old gun, which is huge. Because the amount of
one thing that's important though is what their definition of better stat is. Okay, what they've got that limited to is that it will only do the transfer if it's a higher, or like equal or higher percentage. So you can't say, all right, I'm going to give up 32% radiation because I want this, 31% toxin. It's not going to happen. It won't let you go over.
Well, if you're looking, in my opinion, if you're looking for increasing your damage, you should be increasing your percentage anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. But I mean, I'm just saying you might want to make a tactical decision, saying, okay, well, I'll go down because this one has the element that I want. So you can't do it there. So
you would
you should really start planning ahead as to what one you're going to unlock. Anyways, figure what element you want to begin with, and then use the appropriate frames to unlock weapons from there, and then just go from that.
Right. No, absolutely. And then, from there we go on, we move forward with that. And what they're actually going to release now is they're going to do Kuva Lich trading, which I believe is actually active.
It's active right now, yeah.
you can actually trade liches between each other, that's a hell of an interesting practice, but that's a good way to, if you have the things that you want, and you get a Kuvalich, say it's like radiation at 60%, hell, you could probably make quite a bit off that. Interestingly enough, I mean, it's only lich for lich right now, if I understand correctly.
I didn't catch on that one whether that's the case, but I do know that each lich can only be traded once.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes forward. Let's talk about the Prime Vault too. The Prime Vault's going to be reopening.
Oh, about time I can get Ash Prime out of the way. That son of a whore.
Yep. So Saren Prime and Valkyr Prime are going back in the vault, and they're bringing back Vaughn and Ash Prime, as well as the Fragor Prime, the AK Stiletto Prime, the Carrier Prime, and the Vectis Prime. Which that last one just makes me grumble a little bit. Not gonna lie, I was stuck getting the last piece of Vectis Prime for years. That's not an exaggeration. Actually, years.
Yep.
But
and then when they gave out some free ones and everything, for some reason you didn't get one. So that really just screwed the pooch right there.
but what was funny is I actually did get a free Vectis Prime after that.
Oh, you did?
I did. I got a free Vectis Prime, I got a free Ash Prime, and I got a free Necros Prime.
Oh, your face with the Ash one. Anyways.
Yeah. That was actually in regards to TennoCon. There was an issue with TennoCon, and they gave people that had logged in for the past 7 days a free Ash Prime. And that was sent out. That was when everybody was on a break there. So
Yeah. Also, when I was on break, was when they came out with and then vaulted Vaughn Prime, so I don't have any of him.
I don't have any of them either. I got a couple relics, but there's nothing crazy in there.
I got to show you that range setup at some point. That's hilarious.
And while we're on the topics of primes and new warframes, there's also 3 new warframes that had come out. Again, Grendel, Gauze, and Garuda are the 3 most recent. Well, actually, they're not even the 3 most recent. I didn't add Hildren or Baruch to that list.
Oh, yeah.
Hildren and Baruch as well. Hildren and Baruch only being available from taking the Prophet Taker and that Orvalis World Boss. And then Grendel being specific to arbitration missions.
Yep. So, we all did get him, though. We all have our meatballs.
Gauze and Garuda, obviously. I mean, those 2 were from the Orvalis, kind of like Gara was to Cetus. Those 2, well...
And Revenant and Cetus.
Yes.
Forever.
Actually, I take that back, because Gauze is specific to disruption missions. But he needs all the stuff from Orvalis to make. Same with Garuda. Yeah. Garuda is all from Orvalis, as well as all of her parts, turrets,
Garuda's
and everything.
Fun.
I need to get both Gauze and Garuda still.
Oh yeah, we definitely gotta get you Garuda. It'll be right up your alley, Drethic, I'm telling you.
Garuda is a lot of fun.
That crazy vampire.
Gauze is a lot of fun as well.
I want to step back for just a second to the Kuvalich trading.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There is the 2 players. One who's selling it has to have converted it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Buying it cannot have a active Kuvalich.
Okay.
And it can be for any currency like it is now. So you can't sell it for platinum and whatnot.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. I appreciate that. That is one of the things that I'm kind of most interested in seeing. And then, while we're on the topic of new changes and things like that, what about the melee changes they made? Melee 3.0.
Before Melee 3.0, I did not melee very much at all. I didn't care for it. I was like, just give me the bigger gun and or flamethrower and let's go.
Start with fire.
With these changes, it has become so much more viable for me. And especially with the hot fix this past week, I believe it was, They amped up a couple of the crit mods because the meta has been bouncing all over the place since 3.0 came out. And people are like, okay, no, there's no point in having prime point blank anymore. Not point blank, that's shotguns, isn't it? Prime pressure point, that's the one I was thinking of. And so, we don't need that core damage increase because we got condition overload. Just make it a status weapon and go that way. Or, yes, you should have it. And people are arguing the math back and forth. But then everybody started moving away from crit weapons, and nobody wanted to use heavy attacks. Because even though you build up your combo meter and everything, a heavy attack in the new system will suck up that combo meter. You'll just take everything just to amplify that heavy. And then you got to build it up again. So they tweaked things around a little bit. They took the basic crit mod, True Steel, and they changed it from a plus 60% critical modifier to a plus 120%, and then said, oh, and for heavy attacks, twice that. So that on its own is nice. But then you have the Umbral version, the Sacrificial Steel, where it can go up to, I think if you fully max it out and have sacrificial pressure on the weapon as well, up like 240%. Ooh. And then that gets doubled for heavy attacks as well. So I'm sitting there with one of my Zaws set up for critical on that old experiment of mine, and I'm sitting there trying it out with the new system, the new mods, and I get the critical combo up to about like 4 or 5, which doesn't take long at all. And I start seeing orange crits all over the place, and then it gets up higher, and I start seeing red crits all over the place. I'm just like, holy son of a bitch! This is cleaving through things like crazy. It almost feels like they did too much to the critical mods. So I wouldn't be surprised in upcoming weeks if they tone it back.
Well,
maybe,
of course,
but that might also be, hey, we actually want you to use this.
Yeah. Now, as far as like nobody wanting to use heavy attacks, it has been discovered, and I've tested this out, and it's true, that some of the mods that nobody ever uses because they were terrible for channeling back when channeling was a thing with Melee 2.0 and 1.0. Nobody wanted to use a lot of the heavy energy ones. There's these completely forgotten by the wayside mods, like Killing Blow. Okay. Killing Blow right now has been changed to, it adds a percentage damage for heavy attacks and reduces the wind-up time, because on like your regular attacks and everything, you're just immediately slashing. With a heavy, it takes a moment to gear up, and then out your attack comes. So if and now it says like, okay, this mod will make it faster. Well, there's another mod. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I can't seem to. That'll make it faster as well. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna get into my game. I'm getting right into my game. I'm pulling up my mods because I got these.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's got these.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Got all these. Okay, so
not as many as I do.
What? Okay, yeah, one of the Amalgam mods, actually, Amalgam Organ Shatter, for the extra critical damage. Yeah, it does a little bit less than a regular Organ Shatter damage, but really it's only by 5% difference when you max it out. But then when you have it maxed out, it's a plus 60% the heavy attack wind-up speed. So you wind up getting that out quickly, and Killing Blow, let me just go down here and take a look at it maxed out. Yeah, Killing Blow also does a 60% bonus to wind-up speed, and winds up having plus 120% melee damage on heavy attacks.
Operator. Maybe
and for those bleed fanatics, these two together, along with a scythe or a machete or a Nakana weapon, doing heavy attacks all the time, you end up putting this ton of force bleeds on the target, because those 3 weapon types actually, there's a hidden modifier in the background that will auto put a bleed on your target when you hit them with heavy. So these together, plus other items, like Where was it?
Well, actually, covert lethality would be a good one too, because that provides a plus 16 initial combo just right off the bat.
Yeah, but that is still currently daggers only, even though they decided that they were going to take it off of there.
Right.
However, that does allow for a very fast combo application. But in addition to that, actually, if you don't care about your overall combo duration, you can use Corrupt Charge, which gives you plus 30 initial combo.
Yep.
All right, so you've already got, and then that in the current system already gives you a ×2 multiplier. So you're instantly double damage running around for your combos. Let's see.
Orders has been counting stars, operator. All accounted for.
Oh yeah, if put like relentless combination on a target or something like that when you're going through a pack of them, a % chance to increase your melee combo counter when the slash status deals damage, and you're making everything bleed, so your combo counter can be skyrocketing and do even more damage.
Blood Rush, if you haven't
Blood
mentioned
Rush
it.
for you got the I was just about to actually. I was just hovering over it right now. Yeah, you get the extra critical chance stacking with your combo multiplier. So you're stacking all of this up against high level targets. Your critical chances are going higher and higher and higher, which makes you put higher and higher bleeds on the target, and everything just escalates. And it's so funny.
Gladiator Might is another good one.
Believe it or not, you actually, I mean, yeah, it is good, but you don't really need those on there, which I found really weird, but it's true. You actually don't really need those on there for that kind of a bleed scythe setup. You can try to fit them on, but you might wind up losing out in other categories. But it's largely going to wind up being a personal flavor type thing at the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all up to whoever's on it, right? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But as you can see,
we are all about the mad science, so who knows? We may be trying all the things just to see what works best for us.
As you can see, as I'm scrolling through my mods, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of good mods there that are really kind of overlooked and underused, and it's going to be interesting how they're all put together. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. They've made the meta just completely explode as far as melee in this past couple of weeks.
And it'd be
that's a good thing because people can actually think about it again.
It's going to be interesting in how the Rivens will change along with that and what those are going to provide as well, because those are going to be those are going to be interesting. Seeing what's going up.
The like when I was doing the testing for the bleed build and everything, I had that Lich at level 5, and so I was going into missions against them with level 105 enemies, and I was like, okay, all right, these ought to be good targets. I can see how much bleed I have. I swing that scythe once, and they're all dead. I'm like, wait, they didn't survive the first hit. I'm sitting here complaining that they didn't live to the first hit on level 105 enemies, and like, of course, you can only rank your frame up to 30, so it's like, these things are 3 times bigger than me, and they're dying in one hit. And I'm bitching. Okay.
Your chosen warframe
something's wrong here.
Yep.
I had to find something like a Nox or something really, really tanky to have it actually take a bleed hit, and usually it's just one bleed and done.
But let's go ahead and we'll move on to our last subject here before we end up.
Let's go forever.
We could if we really wanted to. So let's talk about oldie but a goodie here. Payday 2.
Oh yeah.
Payday 2 getting their development and their updates restarted.
Because they went on an update freeze back in 2018 when Starbreeze had its financial issues.
Yeah. And that's an interesting start.
The startup is because of financial issues though, and that's the fun part. Or funny part, I guess. But yeah, I mean they had to file for whatever their country's equivalent of Chapter 11, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the process of going bankrupt because they had a couple of really bad runs. The Raid wound up not going over very well. Their Walking Dead game wound up not going over very well. And so they had two failures right back to back while they had already cut off the development for Payday 2 and they kind of finished their whole story.
Right.
So now they're like, okay, we have to start up DLC again for this.
Mhm.
People are still playing it. People are still playing it a lot because they're waiting for 3. So we need something so we can get money in again and everything, so we can work on 3 and get that out and try to get our momentum back.
I really hope they patched whatever was breaking me doing some of the missions with you guys.
Oh man, me too. I tell you. Oh my word, that was just. I know it was more frustrating for you, but I was still pretty pissed about it.
In all honesty, I mean, I haven't touched Payday 2 in a while, just because of some of the bigger game-breaking bugs.
Yeah.
And
they've already put out 3 patches since this announcement, which was, 2 days ago?
right. No, it's more than 2 days ago. This is October 25th. This announcement was put out.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah. But the fact that they've immediately come back in and Overkill is already starting to patch things that are broken in the last patch, and then come in, improve and revamp, and they have new DLCs that are coming out with a mix of paid and free DLCs. They changed what was the Ultimate Collection is now called the Legacy Collection. Anything released 2018 or earlier. So it's really going to be... I'm excited to see where it goes moving forward, but I'm wondering how long that's going to last.
Yeah, that is a definite worry.
Especially where Payday 3 is going to be coming out.
Well, they're in reconstruction, and they've sold off a lot of their proprietary rights back to other companies.
Right.
So the latest news that I saw on Starbreeze's site showed things are leveling out, but they have no real income streams. And they're looking at releasing like 1 or 2 more titles that they own back out to the main developers, just so they can hold on to Payday and make Payday 3. Because they've already started putting that team together.
Well,
I mean, that's been their bread and butter since they started.
Yeah.
And for good reason, too. The game is polished. It works. It's not, Fallout,
It works when it doesn't make Drethic crash.
It's not Fallout 76. It just works.
And that's saying something when I can't play certain maps.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still a big deal. Their latest update, which is going to be Silk Road, Payday 2 Silk Road, is going to be their...
they've got the border crossing heist right now.
Yep.
Silk Road just released last week.
Yep, as of the 7th, I believe it was.
It's like $6 or $7, I think, right now. For that, which is their standard pricing.
And the funny part is Payday.
Actually, that's a little bit lower than some of their pricing.
Payday 2, the actual game, $9.99 right now.
Yep.
Well, they've gone back to a la carte for the DLCs.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what people have been asking for, because they don't want to buy... They didn't want to spend $50 on Payday for only 1 or 2 expansions they wanted.
It's just funny because the DLC is almost as expensive as a game. I can't even laugh at that because it really is. The game is $9.99 right now. For me, the Payday 2 Border Crossing bundle would be $9.98.
Yeah, they've got their Cartel Optics mod pack for weapons and everything, $3.
Yeah,
and this is just that $10 that they're asking is for cosmetic stuff and the mod pack. The actual Silk Road update was free.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is that one out right now?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a free update with 3 DLCs that jive with that update.
Yeah.
But
they got that flip scope. I wonder if you can actually adjust that.
But
looking at the Cartel Optics mod pack, if you look at the second image, it's got that hollow with the flip magnifier.
Yeah.
If you can actually flip that, I'm a happy guy.
I hope so. That's been one of the weird things. You get these real 2-layer fights of everything's way down range or in your face. Mm-hmm. So now you're fumbling to your sidearm to deal with a tank that's come up in your face, or got to go to a sniper scope to see the other guy. With that flip one, you can at least stay with, an assault rifle and call it a day. Either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything so far. That's our week in review here, I guess you could say. You guys have anything you want to add before we finish up today?
Yeah, I like how we figured, we'll be done in an hour.
Oh, I knew this wouldn't be in an hour. I absolutely knew this wouldn't be an hour.
We had, 10 or 15 topics, and we did 2 hours of substantive content.
It's not like it's not like me where I took a break after 3 hours and then came back, hey, I'm here! 'Cause technically I've been live for 5 hours and 18 minutes now.
But are you really here?
Yes.
That's
Sure
the
about
spicy chicken.
Yeah.
That chicken was delicious. Anyway. You leave my chicken out of this.
Oh, don't worry. It'll visit you in a few hours.
Oh.
He's not wrong.
You both make me sad.
He's like, hell of you both. Get out. Get out.
But
Next week it'll just be Dell.
Oh.
He'll have our little faces on a popsicle stick in each hand going, trying to talk for us.
Witness half an hour in when the straitjackets arrive.
They're coming to take me away. Haha, they're coming to take me away. Oh, to the funny farm. Oh. Alright, well, that is it for us. This is a lot of fun going forward. We will try and do this again. When do we want to do this again? Forgot to mention. Was it?
We want to try every 2 weeks to start with, and then adjust the schedule accordingly.
Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay.
I just don't see a lot of game updates coming out weekly or new games, especially with Christmas right around the corner.
Yeah. Actually, I do expect within the next month, probably a lot of big drops before Christmas. I would say within at least the first couple weeks.
2 weeks from now, I can just see it. It's like, okay, so what are we going to talk about? I don't know. Can't talk. Dropping. Dropping my mech. Can't talk. Yeah, in that go away. Go away.
Mech go boom. Me go too. Bye bye.
It's like, yeah. Nice topic. Drethic, what do you see over the ridge?
I don't know. My head's gone.
Son of a...
This is why we can't have nice things, guys. This is why we can't have nice things.
That beta's starting on 26.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true.
And we have Diablo 3 Season 19 dropping on the 22nd.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
on the 23rd will be 70. And half geared.
on the 23rd.
Will come on and die 100 times when you get her gear.
What do you mean 23rd? I'll be fully geared by the 22nd and 70. Get out of here.
I've got that list of how we get to 70 in 2.5 hours. I really want to try it this time.
Dude, I'm all for it, man. But
All right.
that is going to be it for us. We will see you again in 2 weeks' time. So today being the 16th, we will see you again on the 30th of November. Again, I am Dellrodar. I am joined here today by Drethic and Blaydetan. I want to thank them for coming out. Obviously, guys, this is always a lot of fun. So thank you for that. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Look at my face.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you were catching this on release day, check me out because I'm streaming live on Mixer. Links are in the description below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.